Hello and welcome to part 2 of week 1 Node.js course. So the next part is about the backend, and I have here in front of me uh, an image that I would like to describe. Before I jump into that, I just want to remind you that the benefit of this being a recording is that at any time you can pause if you need to think or if you need to arrange something, and then you can resume, or you can go back and then listen again to what I've said in case it ran past you or I was being too fast. So yeah, there are disadvantages to this recording, but there are also advantages. So go ahead and use them. Also, for this part, you're going to need Node.js installed on your laptop. So if you don't have that, please pause now and get that installed so that you can continue with this part. You installed Node? That's great. Okay, so now let's go back. So how does the internet look like actually? How does most of the things that you see when you go in your browser, how do they work? So this is a very basic architecture, and the three basic components that you see here is the browser, the server, and the database. So basically, every website that you see works in has the same architecture. On the server is your application. It's your backend application that's running. All your data is stored in the database, and the way you interact with the server and get the data is through your browser. So in the browser, you have JavaScript, and this is also where you have all your UI. I wish that was a bit bigger. This is also where you have all your UI. Yeah. And there is, of course, some logic around usually related to the UI, but most of the logic is actually on the server side, and that's called the backend as well. So the server is called the backend. This is where most of your application logic is hosted. Of course, all your data is in the database. Uh, so I'm not gonna go into too many details how this works. That's for the next class. But basically, so far we've been only writing programming for the UI for the browser, and in this course we're going to write code that's running on the server side. Now the server side usually does not have a UI. It does not need a UI because the UI is here in the browser. What it does need to have is a way to talk to the browser to get the data that the browser needs and to do some operations on the data. And that's what we're going to learn in this course. Now, there are many different uh, technologies to write the backend. Unlike the UI, which is mostly JavaScript, the backend actually there is a lot of different programming languages that are used and a lot of different technologies. And maybe you can name a few technologies for that, or maybe you know some of them. If you're saying to yourself PHP, Java, C Sharp, and so forth, that's really good. So you know a few of the technologies. For this course, we are going to use Node.js as a server-side platform. So Node.js is uh, a way to write JavaScript code that runs as a server application. Now, that might be a bit confusing, seeing that I just said now that JavaScript is used in the browser. But what you will see is that we chose Node.js precisely for the reason that you all already know JavaScript. And the goal of this course is to teach you the concepts around server programming and not to delve into yet another programming language. So we are here to teach you the concepts of how to write the backend software and not to teach you all the possible languages. And once you know the concepts, then it's very easy to pick up another language and apply the same concepts to that language. Yeah, JavaScript started out as a browser language, but yeah, some people thought it's really good idea when you have a developer and he already knows JavaScript that he can also then help with the backend development, and that's basically how Node.js was started back in 2005, I believe, or 2008. Yeah. So mm, that's enough theory for now. Now what I want to do is jump into Node and show you guys how you can run Node. So for this, I need you to open up your favorite text editor and a command line. I'm using Visual Studio Code here. So I have set up a new folder just for this lecture. I recommend that you do the same so that you have a nice clean environment to work in and everything is in one place. Now, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you do have Node installed. And to do that, you can open your command line. Now, if you're not using Windows, this might look a bit different, but the command is the same, and it's node ---- version. Yeah, and there you should see some number. Don't be afraid if your number is slightly different than mine. I'm using 10.16. Your version, if you download it right now, they will probably be higher. I think right now it's on version 12. All the things that we are going to learn will work the same on version 10 and on version 12. So just make sure that you don't have a really older version than this, like 6 or something. That will be bad. But as long as you have the first number is 10 or 12, yeah, then you're good. And the second number is really not that important at all. Okay. If you don't have this running, then please go to the README and install it right now before you continue. So now, I said again, Node is a server-side application language, so there is no browser anymore. So we cannot really run code from the browser. We cannot use the browser. So the way you run code, and I'm gonna write a simple hello world for you. So I'm gonna call this script, and the name doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want. Then I'm going to use the same JavaScript syntax to say console log hello world. Yeah. I'm saying hello world. Now, if I would like to execute this file or run this application doesn't do a lot, it just prints to the console, but that's a good first example. I can say node script. I think I don't need the script.js. And then you see it printed hello world to the console. So this is the basic script that you can run to have this running. Yeah. So this is really easy. So the command is node and space and the name of the file that you would like to run. Yeah, and I can have different files in here. So let me add another one, and this file will be an exercise for you. Yeah. So I have here an exercise file. I'm gonna grab this code, copy it, throw it in here, and I'm gonna run this code now. And during the lecture, I will throw this code in Slack so that you can copy paste it from here. Yeah, so this is a bit more tricky application. It has one function which checks if a given day of the week is the weekend or not. So if it is a weekend, for example, Saturday, then it returns true. If it's a weekday, like Monday, then it returns false because Monday it's not the weekend. So the exercise for you is to fill in the remaining code of this function, basically for every day of the week, and return true if it is the weekend, and return false if it is not the weekend. So if I would run this function now, you will see, so I can run it, but it will not give me the correct result. Sorry, I did not save that there. That's why there was no output. Let's try that again. And you see, I can omit the .js file. Basically, it says Tuesday is a weekday, Friday is a weekday, Sunday is a weekday, but Sunday, that's not correct because Sunday is a weekend. So I will ask you now, just as a fun little exercise to see that everything is working correctly and you get some experience, that you fill in the rest of this function so that we can see that everybody is familiar with Node. Okay, well, if you're finished, I hope you are finished by now. Yeah, I'm going to fill in this function for you so that you can see the solution is Tuesday. Turn false. Now I'm really lazy, so I'm gonna copy code here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I need two more, right? So it's a good exercise also to remember all the days in the week. So Thursday, Friday, and I'm missing Sunday. Yeah, and Sunday is a weekend, so I'm gonna return true there. And this is not probably the most efficient way to write this function, but it's easy to read, easy to understand. Maybe it will be easier if the days are actually in order. Yeah. I'm sure there you can think of 1,000,000 ways how to write this function shorter, but that's not the goal of the exercise. So now if you run this again, so yeah, now it correctly says that Sunday is the weekend. Now keep in mind, before you run the code, always you need to save. Now I'm doing this from the keyboard, so maybe you didn't see it, but every time when you make a change, you need to save it and then run it again. Okay, well, if everybody got this exercise running, that's really good. Next we are gonna go with some more theory.